Hi everyone, it's Jasper here, and today we're going to be talking about one of the more important aspects of making money with a niche website. This is going to be about the best ad networks or ad exchanges you can use to optimize your earnings per 1,000 visitors, or in other words, your RPMs. I personally made multiple thousands of dollars with all these ad networks, so you definitely want to stick around to see which ones are the best for your sites. Also, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little tip or secret I use to increase my ad revenue with about 15 to 20%. So first off, what are ads? Ads are these little advertisements you can see on your website. Just go to any regular website right now that's at least a little on the larger side, and you will 100% see some ads on there. These ads are placed there, and companies pay to have their ads placed on these websites. For a company, these ads are very valuable because, well, as a website, you have a whole target audience that you can target with just a few simple ads. The most common type of ad websites use is a display ad. A display ad is basically a picture with a little bit of text or whatever, but it's a static ad. It doesn't really move or change. Secondly, there are video ads, and video ads are becoming more and more important, and you will definitely see a much higher RPM on these as well. A video ad is basically when a video starts playing and the advertisements will be in front and behind them. So when the video starts playing, maybe it's like a 30 seconds video, you have one ad in front, then the video, then you go to the second ad, and usually there's some type of media player that just plays the next video and the next ad and the next video and so on. So as you can imagine, if you have a page with a lot of content on there and any user spends on average 5 minutes on the page, you can see how this one video can bring in a lot of extra money with basically no extra work up front. So how much money can you expect to make with advertisements? Well, a lot. This definitely depends on a few things, and the most important one is your traffic levels. You simply won't make a lot of money with ads if you only have 1,000 page views a month. Similarly, if you have 10 million page views a month, you will make a whole lot of money. Now, RPMs also differ from ad network to ad network, and we'll cover each of the more popular ad networks and how much you can expect to earn with these in this video. But generally, you could expect anywhere between $2 and even up to $40 per 1,000 visitors, or in other words, $2 to $40 RPM. Your niche actually has a lot of influence on your RPMs as well, because if you have a website about children's toys versus a website about investing, there's such a large difference in audiences. Children's toys are mostly watched by children, and these children simply do not have a lot of money to spend. On the other hand, investors, they do have the money, and they can spend that money on things that would improve their life or their businesses. So you can see how investors will be much more valuable than little children in terms of RPMs. So with that being said, let's dive into the ad networks, starting off with AdSense. I personally don't really use AdSense. AdSense has some of the lowest RPMs there are, maybe like $1 to maybe $4 per 1,000 visitors. That's really not worth my time, especially seeing that there are much better options. AdSense might be a good pick if you're just starting out and you just want to see some money, some proof that what you're doing is actually working. But otherwise, I'd personally stay away from AdSense. What I won't stay away from is Ezoic, so let's dive into the computer and see what Ezoic is all about. So here we are in Google AdSense. We just said this is not really an ad network I use. I wouldn't really recommend it, but in any case, you can just find it on Google, type in Google AdSense. But we're going to talk about Ezoic. Here we are on the homepage of Ezoic, and Ezoic is a very interesting platform. It's a sort of machine. It's very, very optimized. There are so many features and small optimizations you can make yourself, which is really where Ezoic stands out. I haven't really seen this type of customization with other ad networks, but Ezoic does it amazingly. And the great part is, you can already join Ezoic at 10,000 page views a month. And if you're a Project 24 member, you can join whenever you want. So you could have your ads up and running the moment you have your domain name and your hosting set up. Getting approved for Ezoic is also very easy. You just apply to them. download a text.txt file plugin, got those connected, and you'll be assigned an account manager, and he or she will be able to help you whenever you have any questions. What I found with Ezoic is you get pretty decent RPMs. They're much better than you would find with AdSense. Me personally, I always hung around the $7 to $10 RPM, so that's already almost more than twice as much as you would get with AdSense. I'll throw in some screenshots on the screen as well, so you could just see some of my results, see that I'm not lying right here. One thing about my site is that it's not really the best in terms of RPM. I've seen sites that have much better RPMs. I personally get a lot of traffic which is not high RPMs, or not more like average or a little below average RPMs. So with Ezoic, you don't only get your ad network and your ads placed on your site, but they also have a few other features. One of those is their site speed accelerator. One of the main complaints about Ezoic is that their ads slow your site down quite tremendously. They remedied this with bringing their site speed accelerator. The site speed accelerator is purely here to make sure your site doesn't get slowed down as much. Aside from the site speed accelerator, they also have a premium version of their services. For this premium version, you have to be invited by Ezoic themselves. And when you join, you pay a monthly fee, but you also have much higher RPMs. And the good thing is that those fees will always be lower than the extra RPMs, the extra money. So you'll always make a profit on top of that. And I just talked about the importance of video ads. Ezoic is currently in a beta with a video player. So that's definitely another pro. Always try to go for those video ads wherever you can. Then we'll move on to Mediavine. This is one of the more premium ad providers. Mediavine is just quality. It's amazing. Mediavine is very good at what they do. I always see RPMs of 15 plus. My site was a little below, but I've made a lot of money with Mediavine. Their thresholds are a little higher because they are a more premium service. You have to have at least 50,000 sessions, so not page views, but sessions. You can check those in your Google Analytics. So when you have your 50,000 sessions, you can apply for Mediavine, and this can take a little while. For me, it took almost a month before they reached back to me and I got accepted. But once you're in, you're basically set. One of the things they ask you to do is download a plugin, and with that plugin they can control all the ads on your website. So it's a hands-off experience, really not much you have to do. Aside from the 50,000 sessions you have to have, you also need a quality site. Mediavine is rather strict. Ezoic is something anyone can sign up to, AdSense anyone can sign up to, but Mediavine is way stricter. So you have to have a quality, unique website. But as I said, once you're in Mediavine, you're basically good to go. They'll do anything for you. Usually if you just send them a quick email, they'll have things taken care of. They have a back end where you can adjust what type of ads you want or you want to ban from your website. So you could ban alcoholic drinks or gambling or get rich quick schemes. All of those things, you can just disable them and no ads of those topics will show up. And just like Mediavine, AdThrive is yet another premium service. I personally would say that AdThrive and Mediavine are about the same. There really isn't one that's much better than the other. Maybe we're talking about 5% here. With that being said, usually AdThrive is known as a slightly higher paying version of Mediavine, even if that's not particularly true. Just like with Mediavine, AdThrive will have very high thresholds for you to join. The minimum amount of page views you have to have per month is 100,000, and 100,000 is a lot. 100,000 page views could take more than a year, more likely 2 years. So this isn't really an ad network you would go to as a starting website. This is one for the more established authority websites. But just like Mediavine, this is a hands-off experience. They just do anything for you. AdThrive even has a personal team. This team is fully dedicated to helping you. And so that's another one of the reasons why AdThrive has such high thresholds, because it's a personal experience here. On top of the 100,000 page views requirement, AdThrive also wants most of your traffic to be from the US. This is mainly because United States traffic is much more valuable in terms of advertisements. The RPMs on American traffic is just higher across the board. Other countries that are great are Canada, the UK, most Western countries, Australia, but the United States is by far the highest paying audience you can have. Just like with Mediavine and Ezoic, AdThrive also offers their video player. This is again something I highly recommend you do. It can easily increase your RPMs or your advertising earnings with 15 to 20%, and it's just so simple to do. So luckily AdThrive does offer this feature. Definitely make use of it. But AdThrive is also in general one of the higher paying ad networks, along with Mediavine. Most say AdThrive is just a little bit higher, but the two are very similar in that regard. Besides these four that we just covered, Ezoic, AdThrive, AdSense and Mediavine, there are a few more, a lot more actually, but we'll just briefly cover three more. These are three ad networks that I personally haven't used, but I heard a lot of good things coming from them. So let's start with media.net. This actually one I did use before. I used the media.net contextual ads on my website when I was just starting out. Personally, I think media.net isn't really that good. It's basically AdSense 2.0. But at least with AdSense you have display ads, and display ads are a lot better looking than these contextual ads. Contextual ads are basically just a wall of text, and you can click on these text links and they will bring you to another page. But yeah, media.net just isn't it for me. It's most commonly seen as an alternative or a supplement to AdSense, and as I said before, AdSense is already skipped, so I would personally just not really use media.net. The one benefit of media.net is that you can use it in combination with other ad networks, but we're talking about pennies here. So then we also have Sovrn. This is one I'm not really familiar with, but I did hear a few good things about it. From what I've heard, this is comparable to Ezoic. It's great for starter websites, but it's not your end option, like a Mediavine or an AdThrive. Sovrn does have a weird policy of what sites are accepted and what sites aren't. It's really just a case-to-case basis. Some sites are accepted, some aren't, and there isn't really a clear answer as to why some are accepted and the others are declined. And then the most interesting that I'm definitely going to try, and I will be making a video about, is Monumetric. Monumetric is an ad network that has a solution for all traffic levels, so all sizes of websites. They have their Propel program, which is for websites with 10K to 80K page views a month. And it goes all the way up to their Apollo program, which is for websites with 10 million page views a month. So I'm interested to see what the differences are, if the pay is different. So as I said, I will definitely be making a follow-up video on this. So with all that being said, these are the four most commonly used ad networks in my experience: AdSense, Ezoic, AdThrive and Mediavine. So what I always do is I build out a site to about a few thousand page views a month. Then I connect it to Ezoic and earn some residual income. These aren't high numbers, but they will be worth it. It's just a few $100s here and there, but these are definitely proof of concept, and you can reinvest this money to grow even quicker. Once Ezoic is set up on the site, I'll be continuously growing my site out to 30,000 page views. Now, if you're already with AdThrive, 30,000 page view mark is a huge one, because if you already have one website with them, they allow you to sign up new websites when they reach this 30K page views a month mark. So if you're already with AdThrive, I'd say go from Ezoic straight to AdThrive. But if you're not with them already, I would work up to Mediavine. And once you're with Mediavine, you could just stay there. You could experiment going to AdThrive. It's really up to you. The difference would be, it will probably be very small. So those are the ad networks I personally use, as well as some ad networks I'm interested in trying out. So if you have your own website, definitely consider joining one of these ad networks. As I said, I personally go from Ezoic to Mediavine or Ezoic to AdThrive, depending on where you get first. But I'm interested to try these other ones out, and I'm also interested to see if any of you have some other recommendations. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, leaving a like and leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!